Hey folks, welcome to another NHL 26 on EA Sports. Son of Beast and Terry Crews here. You may recall this one as the Vancouver Canucks have made a great win against the Ottawa Senators at home, and for St. Louis, they lost last season in OT against the Philadelphia Flyers that they couldn't make themselves a win. But this time, this might be what their answer could be if they have a chance. For the next goaltenders or the starting lineups we have is Thatcher Demko, and the other player is Jordan Binnington. I'll talk more about these two players during the starting X Factor players, starting with Vancouver Canucks. Now the Canucks really had a great victim to have it all started up here in this motion. As we talk about Thatcher Demko, one of his best zones is the post-to-post on the blank. It's miracle ankles on the crease saves and he makes it all of it down. He's hoping to get this next save of the game to keep things from going. With Elias Pettersson, with tape-to-tape zones an ankle breaker, and Marco Rossi from the Minnesota Wilds, a tape-to-tape and a no-contest zones. Then everyone's favorite, Connor Garland with the spark plug, no contest at the overpowering and the puck battle strength. Then Philip Hronek with the Ely edges in the Rocket. Brock Besser, one of a quick release in 1T motions. Then across we have is the transfer from the Oilers, Evander Kane, Big Rig, and Sparkplug. Then it's Jake DeBrusk, a Big Rig and a Big Tipper. And finally, we have is Philip Hedl, transfer from the New York Rangers with the tape-to-tape zones on this ability. Now let's go ahead and take a look about the St. Louis Blues as we start things off from the top. Robert Thomas is where we are starting things off to have some tape-to-tape zones in the ankle breakers. And Jordan Kyrou, he makes the wheels in the tape-to-tape zones the same thing too. And along with that one is Colton Parayko with the stick 'em up and a warrior zone. Braden Shen with the Born Leader and a Trelensless with the spark plug. Then your starting goaltender is Jordan Binnington. He makes a recharge just like Jake Ottinger does, and he was played for part of his own team of Canada with the Edmonton Oilers captain Connor McDavid, and it's definitely one of the other ones to make things for the best out of any. Then Dylan Holloway with the spark plug and the quick pick on the effortless interceptions. Then across is Cam Fowler from the transfer from the Anaheim Ducks, the wheels ineffective on the Ely edges. And then it's Pavel Buchnevich with the Ely edges with the big tipper. And finally, we have is Nathan Walker. The pressure brings on the building shot. Well, that's it for the starting lineups. Now it's time to get on ice. My next commentary partners I have is Willie from St. Louis, along with Ballpoint Pen, and the center ice is Silver Spoon. We'll see you all later, everybody, for the intermission reports and post-game show. Canucks, Blues, next on EA Sports. It's big night here at Enterprise Center. Hi everybody, I am Willie from St. Louis, and I'm here with my broadcast partner with Ballpoint Pen and Silver Spoon. The opening face-off is where we start here in St. Louis at Enterprise Center. Frozen biscuit is dropped, and we are underway, ready for game number 5. Let's start hockey. Starting goaltenders is in the range between Vancouver and St. Louis. As Thatcher Demko, he's a starting goaltender for tonight. And the other side we have is Jordan Binnington from Team Canada, a starting goaltender matchup against the other teams. We start with the players as we have is Pettersson. Pettersson has that puck in right to her in the zone, and he crosses right into the line. That one is given over by Snuggerud as he'll have it across out. A firing dish around the net, and it will give it over to Jake Neighbors. Neighbors starts a chance, now finds it over to Broberg. To Parayko, looks over to Broberg. Keeps the pass moving across into Snuggerud. That's given by Pettersson. Stopping the puck in play. Neighbors got it back and rebounded by Parayko. Parayko chance now finds again to Broberg. Broberg chance to Parayko. Here's a fire shot. Big stop and a save made by Thatcher Demko. That will be his first save of the night. What you've always been thinking about Thatcher Demko, he really has been keeping it on his own tightness. The good effort is for Thatcher Demko. He makes it a hugest on the lockable on this, work of his flame on the energy, the post-to-post is a blanking range to have the shot. No better effort would do for thing. Here's set to Falk, now finds it again to Dvorsky. Dvorsky finding to Tim Holloway. Holloway looks to Falk. Falk, pass over to Holloway. Here's Tucker, shot blocked. Rebounded by the Blues, and Filip Hronek will take it over. Set in the other way is Vancouver. Hronek on the boards. Rebounded by the Blues. Kyrie's got that one puck in, that's sent to Dvorsky. Here's a set into zone to deep a pass to Holloway, and there'll be a delay penalty. Now it's going to start on Holloway with the interference. Yeah, this is where the interference doesn't start doing things. You don't like this call? No. That's allowed, but you have to start.
2 minutes for interference.
And you can see what Holloway is doing. He was trying to get wide open, and he really wants to try to get out of the way without the puck steal. He wasn't sure he was going to get up to this, but that is where the big line change goes bad. That's going to be the first penalty for St. Louis. First penalty kill will start in for St. Louis. It'll be the first power play for Vancouver. Vancouver's going to be able to try to start off at the power play position. There's no change-up when you really need to do for it. But sometimes you need to get into it, you have to watch out. Because otherwise, other teams are going to get off to a starting on the goal. You don't want that to get anyway. That's going to make them blindfolded. Try to watch it off. Connor Garland right to the wing. Glove save by Binnington. Mallis has got the puck in, and he'll have that one dish out of the zone. As Lankinen will have it over. Here's a set to Bowen. Bowen chance and a puck on the drive. Now finds it over to Ogren. Ogren chance. Fires a shot. Big stop and a save by Binnington. And it's over to Sundbass. Goes near for the bench and rebounded by Bowen. Ogren right toward the wing. Transfer from the Dallas Stars, and he's now looking to see how he can able to hang on with some big chance on plays. What I say about Liam Ogren, he was really giving some great efforts. There was no change up to have that whatsoever. It really makes it an easier range to try to keep on fighting things out. But sometimes it don't matter. We really do appreciate what Liam Ogren does if he is making a wonderful and unique saves. This is a big courageous in a moment, but you have to make sure you're really up to a challenge. The wing for Pettersson. Here's Willander, and as Broberg taken over, he will have it to Stenberg to clear the zone out. Canucks have it now. Here's Hronek is behind the net. Tim Holloway's time's almost about to expire. The cross pass, Carlson shot, big stop on the doorstep by Binnington, and it will be stick carried in. Rebound the zone, stop by Binnington. And the power play is over. Holloway's out of the box. Well, a great passing percentage here. The Blues have been keeping it in control. No effort to do for, but this is a lot of huge maintaining their possessions. This big drive really might be on the big lookout. I've been looking over this for now, but this is one of the hardest of the saves that everybody's been counting on for. They really have to show it off. Here's Kyrou, now backing again over to Bouchard. Ball fires, close save by Lankinen. And now as Willander, you'll have it back the other way with passing under 15 minutes remaining. As Hoglander will have it deep out of the zone, and Broberg will have it right behind the net. St. Louis on the attack. The Blues gives it to Holloway. Holloway with a big chain, trying to give a dip off, and it was given back by Holloway. No tip in on the doorstep in the middle, and now it's given by Bluger. Bluger on the rushing attack. To give away by Falk, and now as Kyrou will have it the other way. He was controlling the other way down to his own angle. And that gives back over to Falk. Falk passes over, now finds the Tucker. Tucker shot, blocked by Shea, trying to get a rebound, and that one does not carry in. Hoglander gives the puck away, and now it's taken along by Falk. Falk moves across the zone, tries to give over to Snuggerud. Here's a shot, that's blocked by Hoglander, and rebounded by Canucks. 11 minutes remaining in the first period as Connor Garland crosses right toward into the blue zone. As Falk will have it over. New line group and change. Try to look for some help. Now it's the third line group as Snuggerud will have a new change up here. Tries to watch for an angle. Bluger's got that puck away. And now this rebounded by Stenberg. Here's a set to Falk. Falk sits back over to Stenberg. Oh, a big hit. That is going to make him hurt and blind him down. Yeah, you really have to watch on that. There's no big effort that you really need to do for that really is going to make them knock them over. We have a center ice. I have us now as Silver Spoon. One of our big players from the Blues is Jordan Binnington. Thanks, folks. Jordan Binnington is one of our users on the Energizer save. Visibility range is a great way to have it all. Perception is the one way to take things in for the next level. Otherwise, for the better use, the timing is the effort one to keep things from good. When this recharge keeps on happening, he makes a total blanking shot saves. He's really great on the angle. Our Team Canada's great man on the goaltender surprise. It makes it easier to have things out. I'll be watching here for Binnington of how he will be able to recharge this game against the Canadian team. Guys, thanks, Silver Spoon. And now back over again behind the net. Parayko takes it over, now has it again over to Fowler. Transfer from Anaheim Ducks as he looks for the cut. With the shot, that is redirected. Rebound by Sundqvist. Parayko gives it to Sundqvist. Sundqvist nowhere to find, and it's rebounded by over in the other way. Backhander blocked up and again, and rebounded by Sundqvist again to Kemp. Snuggle-rug again, now finds the Sundqvist. Sundqvist with no cut. Rebounded by the Vancouver Canucks. Here's Kemp. That one sticked it. And that one goes right toward the corner of the wall. Jordan Parayko right toward the wing. Now you'll have it slammed over to Shen. Shen finds it to Broberg. Broberg shoots. Good save by Lankinen. Lankinen's going to hold it with only 7:02 remaining as we pass the midway mark. Now the other way I will set it off is Elias Pettersson for the Canucks. Elias Pettersson is really one of the hugest take-in for all of his teammates. What he makes him is his accomplishment for his captain of the team. Without Quinn Hughes, he wouldn't be playing with Oliver or without him alone. Requires Marco Rossi to help him out with his teammates. This one gives the extra feet a better angle on the effort. We really will see how he will do to keep his defender alive. I'm pretty sure what happens to Elias Pettersson. Let's hope if we can make his stream work with Connor Garland, guys. After a save by Lankinen, here's an R1 to Pettersson. Pettersson watches the cut. Looks off in the corner range, tries to look for some open use. And Falk gives that one back. Here's a set over, now finding a snuggle run. Tries to go around the net. And now here's Shen right toward the wing. Loses the puck battle, and Philip Hronek will have it. Now finds it over to Liam Ogre. The pass deep zone. No offside for Vancouver. Sas's shot. Big save by Binnington. Gives it over to Holloway. And now again to Kyrou. Kyrou at the cut and motion shot. Stopped by Lankinen. Huge save right toward the cut as he will stop that in play with under 5 minutes. Big shots on the take on the net here in the first period. Blues are in the Vancouver Canucks are trying to get the first goal in the first period. Now the win for Vancouver, and he'll set to Hronek. Hronek will have it deep it over to Garland. That one is given over. And a shot. What a save by Binnington. He makes a charge and about to stop. I was really noticing that Jordan Binnington really made a great save. Fans are going wild after this. Listen to this pace. This is where it starts up with Binnington. He really got a great save. Fowler finds it over to Malix. Malix looks to Fowler. Got a little reset here. Now finds the Kyrou. Shoots to Holloway. Backhander. Glove save by Lankinen. Pettersson. It's taken away by Holloway. Malix to find the Fowler. Fowler shot. He dunked the pipe. That right stays out of the net. And it's back to Fowler. Malix now finds the Fowler. Fowler again. He scores! Well, I gotta look at the reflection this here. When you see what that Fowler did, there's that deflection when you get to Tim Holloway. That's where the first goal really made. You can see that bigger angle? That's where that deflection comes out. When you have that one tipping in the zone, you don't have your choice to get things in. You're getting a little bit of a goalie screen, and that one is really going to come right into her in the zone. That is where the first goal is going to make a knock on it for the teams as the Blues take the strike in the first period. Blues start with a 1-0 lead with under 3 minutes remaining in the first period. Now the win for Bouchard. Here's Broberg to find the Parayko, and you'll have it to Broberg. Broberg sets it over to Stenberg. Stenberg gives it away, and that one will carry along the battle back behind Parayko, finding Broberg. Broberg puts the Parayko. Keeps moving around, now finding the Broberg. On a shot, he scores! The goal for the Canucks! Well, you're never noticing how that happens with the development channels. You get the same thing with this. And this one was to start with an unlucky score to have that in. And not to start with the defender just really got out of the way. You see what happened to development damage? This is where it comes in. Watch what happened to this fight. That's deflection when you're going to get into the net. And that really had to strike it again. With 2 goals in 1, it is already coming down to nearing the mark. I can't really tell how to describe the available change. He really had to chugging up the board. That really makes it a harder change. What a great goal for the Blues to start things off. That's Pavel Buchnevich with his first goal in the game. And now here comes Pedersen. With under 2 minutes remaining in the fourth period. Evander Kane transfer from the Edmonton Oilers looks for the cut. Here's the Cameron on shot. He's blocked up and it's rebounded by Pedersen. Puck plays in the corner, now finds the push time, and he'll send it back. Oronik gets a little bump out of his own, and tries to give the push damage. Langdon will have it over again, now to Sassen with under a minute remaining in the first period. Hollander swivels around, and rebound by Sundqvist. Sundqvist chance over into the wing, he'll fire that one out. Around the net is Mancini. Walker's got it back. And as Parayko, he will now have it over. New line grouping change for their teammates. As now Tucker will have some new groups at change out. Parayko, back on ice. Shoots it deep, hits the patch, saved by Lincoln. And Carlson kicks it over, and that will do for the first period. The Blues strike first in the first period by Tim Melloway, and then a few minutes later, it was Pavel Buchnevich. 2-0 is the score. We'll be back with you shortly after the break. Hey folks, welcome to the first intermission as we have kicking things on with the hugest start of the game. As Son of Beast and Terry Crews are ready to take in control, let's have some action trackers on the other side of it. There's not pretty much going on around here, but there are some big, huge stop downs that really made that one inturnable. Yeah, you gotta look at the feeling and you're spotting that one on. This is where that run really comes in. Big hit scare on the other side of it for the Blues, and sometimes a lot of shots for Vancouver. That's really where they're gonna start it off. What a great chance here for the Blues. They strike in the first period. So it was 2-0 for St. Louis. The summary of the goal made it 12-7 over Vancouver. And then this made a little bit of a change with the 4-on-4 face-off wins to have it all. And the rest of it turned out to be 92/84% of the passing effectiveness for Vancouver, and 2-minute penalty kill was only taken by St. Louis with no power play goal. Now I'll have to send it over and see what goes with you, Terry, about the St. Louis Blues. Well, they really started it off. I mean, come on, man. They've really been, keeping things up. With deflections on the goal, passed by Lankinen, I don't know how that was going to definitely achieve. But to say this one here, Son of Beast, I'm thinking this is going to make a 4 home game wins to see how they can handle this. This pressure is really keeping an eyes on the roll. How about you, Son of Beast, for Vancouver? Well, Vancouver really made a great use of a stoppage, and then whatever to say about the goaltenders, this is where it really made it in. They denied by Jordan Binnington that quickly, and that really made that one to deny this effort. I wasn't pretty sure how that one was going to keep up, but that really made it look like they were really hard to try to keep things out. But let's see how they can handle this in the second period if they got their answers back. So far, so good afterwards. I mean, we've done this one to the first period, but we will be taking a break as we end the first intermission here. Now let's send back to Willie from St. Louis to start the second period. See you later, everyone. Welcome back, folks. Here in St. Louis as we're ready for the second period. Puck is dropped and we are underway back in St. Louis. Let's start off and see what goes with the second period. All right, there's Ballpoint Pen. I know you've been watching this one here, but what a first period start for St. Louis. Tell me about your facts here, how they got a deflection in there. Well, I've been dominating now. Pavel Buchnevich made this one with a great goal after by Tim Holloway. This is where it really made a great start. I was really sure enough that they really have been keeping in the number digits, and they're really just going back further. They've really been working it off. The timing is great effort. Nothing's really slowing it down, but they really did well. I think Binnington and their teammates might show things up how they can handle it. Binnington's team's got a great set on the save, and they're looking for a next play on the effort to deny the effort by the Vancouver Canucks. The win for Vancouver. That shot's blocked and rebound by Broberg. He finds it over to Holloway. He'll have it to Kyrou. Kyrou's shot. Big save by Lankinen and rebound by DeBrusque. He really had a one-time effort. There's no stopping to this range when you really have to keep in there. Big, huge save by Binnington, and it's back over to Holloway. That's where it goes the other way for Binnington. He's really in a hard change to make that charge refill. New line group change as Besters gives the pass to DeBrusque. DeBrusque towards zone, weaves around, he scores. That one is on the board as Vancouver strikes in the first for the second period. Well, this hustle made that one go afterward. Watch what happens with Jake DeBrusque. He gets away from the defender, and he couldn't really stop it. He was really trying to maintain it and try to test the balance by Jordan Binnington. Look how he's hustling with the side shooting percentage. That's where the big grit comes in with the big drive, and he wants to go right up to the goaltender like the train was coming after him. You see, he was standing still. He was waiting patiently, but then he missed it. That's where it was going to be a first part of a goal for their teammates. Connor Garland got a great assist, and he's really keeping it up. So that's where Jake DeBrusque comes in after Garland with the assist with 2:26 time on the goal, as now Evander Kane has got one. Here's a set, shots blocked by Bouchard. Tucker takes it in again, now finds it over to Stenberg. Stenberg waits as all teammates are in the zone, trying to get the fault, and will have to reset out of the zone as the puck is over the blue line, and now Tucker will have it. Firing around the net is now Buchnevich. Buchnevich, he could try to get that one a good look, but he couldn't get over it. Jordan Falk with the puck rebound, steal, and the Bouchard. Bouchard sets a pass to Buchnevich. Buchnevich tries to run it away. Stops his zone. Keeps breaking things down. Buchnevich takes a hit. Malix with the rebound finds Bouchard. Here's Davidge on a shot. Blocked in front and rebound by O'Connor. Drew O'Connor now finds Tabuet. Finds over to Evander Kane the other way. On a rushing attack, Evander Kane moves it in. Saved by Binnington. Right over to Muggerug and back into Vancouver territory. That kick pad save really made it for Jordan Binnington. He's really on a harder chain. I was really sure that he was going to get up to that close. He finds Malix the other way. St. Louis back on the passing effectiveness for the Blues and the Vancouver territory. Snuggle finding his Fowler. Here's shots blocked. Rebound by Neighbors as the stick comes broken on ice. And he's trying to play without it. He's trying to watch on it. Looks over to Snuggle on a shot club save by Lankinen. Huge stop play as we'll get a little time rest with under 15 minutes. Now, I've been talking about Drew O'Connor. He was really on a great chain, and I've been watching on him so long and see how well he was able to take. After a transfer from the Pittsburgh Penguins, he may have a shot at this if he can definitely take it all. What do you think, Ballpoint Pen? Well, I've really been seeing things about Drew O'Connor. The last part of the season they played against the Blues was the game of the night, and unfortunately they couldn't get it off. This timing, it wasn't perfect. I wasn't pretty sure how they were really kept it up back in the rush, and they were really been you know what, this wasn't really a big deal. And I was really sure enough that they really had to keep it out. Because of this point about Drew O'Connor, he really was trying to keep things out. No short of the feeling they really have it all. Oh, he bumped him down! Unbelievable by the big hit by Patterson. He really made that one with a wipe. Oh boy, that Blues defenders are really starting to make that one go back into jelly bean. They've really been like smacking him down. Patterson find a breast stop by Binnington. 12:07 remaining in the second period as they'll get ready for a next faceoff. Since a lot of time is left to be remained in the period, the Blues hold on to a lead 2-1. And the win for Pettersson. There's a fire shot stopped by Binnington, but it's loose and it's rebounded by Pettersson as he scores. We are now tied for 2 and only 8:01 time out of goal. I gotta look over here by Pettersson. Watch what he was able to do. He was looking at his own rebound. He was trying to save it off by Binnington, but this is where the catch went. He was hacked. That's where Pettersson was coming in there, and Ben really made that one unofficial. That was like rolling and sliding across, and then this is where it just made. Pettersson was just poking in that, and that really had tied that one up. I'm not sure what's going on, if there is a miscommunication effort, or if they have that one back. We're not sure. Borrego fires around the net, and now it's Myers the other way. He'll try to handle it over. Vancouver finds Pettersson. Poked it and rebounded by Broberg. Broberg, right around the net, try to look over again to Borrego. Borrego sent a pass to Walker. Another big hit here, and it's another one down. He's right toward the zone. Torpachenko's shot, another save by Lankinen. Torpachenko right around the net, and rebound by Fowler. Fowler looks to Malix. Malix looks to Fowler. Tries to Torpachenko on a shot. Couldn't get over by Nathan Walker. And it's rebounded by the Blues. The West will have it. Fouling along the board. Rebound by Buchnevich. Back to Pettersson. Now Besser will carry it out. Now find to Jake Brooks. That one's given over the other way for the Blues. Past the midway mark in the second period. Tries to go to Buchnevich. Shot. One time and stop made by Lankinen. And he now finds Malik. Timber shot stopped by Lankinen. Looks over to Bowen. Bowen chance now find Besser. Besser looks to Pettersson. Swings and misses. It's off of Binnington. Goes off the net. Rebound by Bouchard. And now back to Malix. Malix the other way. Now as the Blues will carry that one out. This one he could not hold on. He now finds to Buchnevich. This is where the battle attacking is striking for. I was really sure that this really happened with the Canucks. They really have been like dominating the effort. They were not sure how they were going to really keep it up, but that's really is going to come back in. Out from zone, Falk. Falk shot for deflection. Buchnevich comes in for the rebound. Now it's Bowen. Back to Bouchard with a little help from the defender on Buchnevich. Tucker now finds to Bouchard. Here's Buchnevich. Shoots. Stopped by Lankinen. The rebound's picked up by the Canucks. It's back to Bouchard. Here he comes. Stopped by Lankinen. 7:34 remaining in the second period. We've been tired that one out for Lankinen. Still a lot of time to get things on a roll. Both teams are even. Crowds rumbling the war to try to look for the lead. Now it's Hronek sets to Pettersson. He finds it to Hronek. A smash down in the center ice, and it's now back to Falk. Falk. Nowhere to find. Lankinen gives to Pettersson. Here's Kemp the other way. Skates from the crease. O'Connor dips it off the glass, and it's rebounded by the Canucks. Here's O'Connor. Shot stopped by Binnington. Deep the zone to Neighbors. Neighbors with a chance over in the wing. Gives it go to Tucker. A shot stopped by Lankinen. Willander takes it out. Carlson will get his own rebound, and now here comes the Canucks. Fires it blocked up. Neighbors with a chance over now again to Shen. Shen stops, looks for the rebound, begging it over by Willander. Here's Carlson the other way, has a pass to Willander. Again to Mancini. Mancini nowhere to look. Torpachenko out of his zone, and now the St. Louis Blues are on the attack. In his own entry is Torpachenko. Looks to Broberg. A shot. Glove save by Lankinen. Just nearing the 5-minute mark in the second period. 2-2's the score. And talking about this one here, about the Vancouver Canucks, they won last season against the Ottawa Senators with a big matchup, and for the Canada's matchup between the East and the West. They've won that game almost the end of the last season. With a finish, it was nowhere to be how they can handle it. Kyrou, he's on the wheels! He caught him that time. And back to Parayko. Here's the Varsky shot, stopped by Lankinen. What a big, huge effort to try to take the lead, but it was not short. I was really sure that this would almost make that kill. Wow, what a save. Now back to Holloway, under 4 minutes remaining a second. Finds to Kyrou. Kyrou chance now finds back over to Broberg. Bouchard's back on ice. Finds to Broberg. Broberg chance now finds Bouchard. Here's Holloway, shoots. Cup to the defender, and it goes up to the netting, out of play. Still looking for a face-off win for the Blues, and it's still tied up for 2. Bouchard wins the face-off. Puck goes out of the zone and rebound by Fowler. Fowler cuts for the motion, tries to get the rebound, but he does not get enough, and it's rebound by DeBrusk. 3 minutes remaining in the second period. DeBrusk to pass, blocked up and a front by Besser, and rebound by Fowler. Fowler the other way, and he'll have it dipping around the net to Buchnevich. Buchnevich comes in by touring away. In corner, now the Bellics. Out front, Buchnevich shot, pad save by Lankinen. He will delivers it over, now finding DeBrusk. DeBrusk looks over. On the shot is stopped by Binnington, and you'll have it hold on with only 2:04 remaining in the second. And the other way for the Blues, they could not answer it back as they were really been swept up as they have been lost in OT against the Flyers last season. It was nothing to be clear after a ballpoint pen. It was knocking out. Yep, it definitely did. It was not an easy range that you need to do for. When you watch out of this game, you do not want to make that mess. Every time you do this, you don't want to get over this on your own. But the big defender, they had a misguarding on this. Every time that happens, it doesn't get well enough. Torpachenko shot. That deflects off of Lankinen, and it's back to Myers. Final minute of the second period, and they're starting to look for a goal for take the lead. That blocker saved by Binnington, and here comes Tucker the other way. Tucker tries to watch for the screen here, and that one gives back to DeBrusk. Here's Evander Kane. He's on the high rush. He scores. Evander Kane with the backhander, and that gives a turnover from the St. Louis. They struck in the lead to end the second period. Well, watch what happened with this. This defender was not really waiting. He wasn't waiting patiently, and he spoke too soon. That one gives it over, and this one is the biggest range to have that undercut. The backhander is going to give him another goal. That's where it comes along. You don't see that, but that's where that really makes him with the breakaway chain. You really up to the rushing for the goaltender on a nicer attacking on the drive. That's where the big rig makes a smash. Vancouver sats in the front seat as it's now a 3-2 lead. You're in the end of the second period, under 30 seconds remaining. Here's Snugglrug. That one is moving in front. A quick descent shot. Blocked up in front. Last chance for the second period. Here's Parayko. Shoot! Stopped by Lankinen. 3 seconds remaining in the second period. As they're really trying to look for the goal to have it tied up. A lot of time effort, but not much to spare. 3-2 is the score. Shen wins. Here's Broberg's shot. Blocked. And we're going to take the end of the second period. So far now, it's Evander Kane with a takeaway and a dish over to have a 3-2. We'll be back with the third period when we return to get started. Be back after the break. Welcome to the second intermission on EA Sports. As we are ready to get things on, as with the end of the second period, it turned to be over for Vancouver as they found a way to end the second period by Evander Kane, and he really showed it nothing to prepare for, and they really have got it. Here's the look at the range. 26 over 21 shots on goal for St. Louis, 22 over 13 for Vancouver, 10.52 over 2.18 timeout attack for St. Louis, 93 over 86 for Vancouver on the passing effectiveness, 13 over 7 face-off wins, and still penalty kills on St. Louis with no power plays to give to. Now I will have to send it over and see what's going on with the second period and with you, Terry, about Vancouver Canucks. Yeah, I gotta say Vancouver Canucks has really been like answering it back. I have no questions on this one, but they have really been like sweeping it out of here for nothing. No better reason is they gotta watch where they're going, because otherwise they really will have to just try to like get into the limit. They have no chance, so you have to watch what you're playing for. Otherwise, that's going to be missed opportunity range. That's where the range is going to go for Evander Kane to take the lead. How about you there, Son of Beast, for the Blues? Blues really need to be on their way into control. I mean, they had a lead in the first period, but it changed it over to Vancouver as they got a 3-2 lead. They're going to have to start fighting it back, so let's hope if there's any answers to give to. With that range being said, that's it for the second intermission. We go back to St. Louis as Willie stands by for the third period. See you later for the postgame show. It's where the line comes down to the third. Both teams prepare for the next one as we start third period. Well, here we are, folks. It has been the tightest contested battle range here between Vancouver and St. Louis. Let's see if they have the answer back. All right, Ballpoint Ben, I know what you're waiting on. Let's have your thoughts of how they did. Well, I've been so far on this, and whatever I do for now, they've really been like watching it in. Nowhere to be finding it out about the St. Louis Blues. They would really have to be showing up how they would try to look for a goal. This is no contest to do for. This matchup is going to make it really harder to try to keep watching it. Whenever I spot on for the Blues, I really am watching it, looking into the pit, and not really sure how that's going to work. Now, I'm spotting on for Elias Pettersson, but this is really what the range made him do for. That really was nothing to compare for. I was really watching it on a very timing and closely by. They were really been like up there perfectly to keep that one out of play. There's no motion to give this one an attacker, because when you're doing this on offense, you have a lot of clean for yourself. Elias Pettersson trying to look for 2 goals in this game, and he's still trying to look for a second goal in the game to have extension 4-2. Elias Pettersson right toward it again to Hronek. Hronek go to the wing. He has an over one-timer stop by Binnington, and it's rebound by Broberg. Parayko sets to Shen. Good set over to Snuggerug, and he's on a wing attack. Goes for the screen, and it's given the blocker. Stop made by Lankinen. Has it over now to Parayko. Looks to Neighbors. Fires. Stop on a pass. Stop made by Lankinen. Here's Brock Besser. Besser pass to Hronek. Neighbors takes it off, and a driving swing over again to Broberg. Broberg looks for the cut to Dvorsky. Kyrou swings one back, up to Dvorsky, rebound by Broberg, stopped by Lankinen. Kyrou with the rebound, trying to get to Holloway. Oh, he used the cut motion in, rebound Dvorsky, he didn't light the upper again by Lankinen. Wow, are you serious? Have Lankinen done this? This is where it goes right out of the way, and he still fights for survival. That is craziness amount. I couldn't tell that Lankinen was really keeping it off. He scores! That's where it does range out. He has it all even up. What an incredible goaltender to have that save, but this is where it really made that one go back by. When Dylan Holloway had a chance, that's where that goal really races in. He was really sure he was going to get off to the next goal. But that being said, he really had a hard time and had to look out. That's where he was coming in. When you see that swooping angle, this is a clear range shot. Yeah, that one is really going to make a turnover. And there's no way how that one was going to get past by. That was really what they were all expecting to see, how they could handle it. Now the win for Besser's team, and he has it again to O'Connor. O'Connor gets to Myers, and he now finds Cam. Kyrou takes a chance over now and back in front of St. Louis territory. He'll now find Kyrou. Kyrou is out of his own, and he will now send over to the Canucks. Kyrou fires around the net to Holloway. Looking for free to Dylan Holloway. He's got 2 in his game. I was really sure enough that Dylan Holloway might have it all. So keep your fingers crossed if you're looking for it. Fowler. Kyrou fires. Missed wide. And it's given over by the Blues, and he gets to Holloway. Fowler shoots. Another save by Lincoln. Dvorsky in the battling boards finds Fowler. Fowler. Back on ice is Malix. Malix, oh, what a cut. Good stop by Lincoln. He almost missed it, but it's given over by Kev with a great saving rebound. Myers the other way. Myers gets struggled around by a defender, and it's rebound by Fowler. Fowler goes right over to Malix. Malix chance again to Buchnevich. Oh, Buchnevich, he might have it too. Will he get it through? No, denied by Lincoln. What a save by goaltender. He could have come that one quickly, but it wasn't enough. Whoa, my goodness. Buchnevich would really have that one clearing. He would tie it up by Dylan Holloway, but he wasn't sure how that one was going to get off to a nice notch to have the lead. Here's Parayko. Send a pass to Broberg. A shot. Glove snatched by Lincoln. You'll have to freeze it up and play with just only 14:06 remaining in the second period to the first. But Lincoln was really giving it to. Ivan's been showing up how he was dominating this second. With no chance, there was no competition that you were really been doing this for. And I was really been watching on this. That's where it comes by Lincoln. He really had a nice goal. I gotta watch on Connor Garland too. He might have the mid-range here in defender. He might have to see what he can definitely have it to take hits. Parayko now finding to Broberg. Here's a shot. Couldn't get the deflection in there. And now Bushgod finding Parayko. Buchnevich spins around. Back to Parayko again to Bushgod. Looks to Stenberg. Stenberg to Paranovich. Though tipping is over and out. As Brock Besser takes it out. Now finding to Bowen. Bowen now finding to Ogren. He'll have it again to Bluger. Bluger looks to Garland, tries to look for the cut. Ogren shot, stopped by Binnington. Stenberg the other way. Send a pass to Buchnevich again. Buchnevich in the zone. Banks it around the pass to Bushgod. Bushgod goes back to Broberg. Broberg dancing his way through, now back to Parayko. Looks to Neighbors. Neighbors sets it over, now finding Parayko. Looks over. Here's Bouchard's shot. Gloved. It's saved by Lankinen. Mancini gets it over to Garland. Now Vancouver takes it over. Back in the St. Louis territory. Shots blocked. Rebounded again by Parayko. Parayko sent a pass to Snuggerug as he's back on ice. Sent around the pass again over to Neighbors. Neighbors looks to Shen again over to Parayko. Here's one effort to take Neighbors' shot. He scores! I love this effort. Watch where he was squeezing in. After by Binnington, look at this play. This transaction made it from Broberg, and this deflection, he was waiting it in. He wants to get another one, and does the same thing. Now you got an answer back. When this deflection really made it in, wank. That is right into the net. You don't see that spot? Never. That's when the Blues comes in to have that one in the range in to have the lead. With the win here by Pettersson. Blues Snuggerog now back to Mullins. Stopping down on the board. He'll have it again to Fowler. Fowler looks it over. He doesn't get enough as Shen has it rebounded. Shen went down and it'll be a delay penalty on a cross-checking. Canucks take the first penalty down as there now will be a Blues power play advantage. Well, this cross-checking is going to kick him out. And that one is going to hurt. That is where it comes by. Look, Shen, he made that one hit. Now Brock Besser is going to be in a penalty box. He'll be a start for the power play. Blues will start their first power play advantage as they're on, but they're taking on their number on the run. What I think the Blues may have to do for them, I mean, when they're in the third period, I think they're going to have to do is they're going to try to have some real responding contact effort, and then you do for one big thing. Now watch what they're doing. They want to get a miscues in the line, so that's what's happening. Passing midway mark in the first period, and it's now available to Shen. You'll have it over to Broberg. Broberg looks again to Snuggerud. You'll have it against Broberg, finding to Shen. Shen back to Broberg. Broberg looks to Snuggerud. Snuggerud to Broberg again to Shen. Good move around by the Blues, and you'll have it again to Shen to keep moving. It's a great idea. Moving around in there. I got a little bit of a cut. Trying to keep that one back into the range. Just keep on moving. Kyrou back over to Shen. Shen looks to Snuggerud. He shoots deep. Save by Lankinen. Kyrou now a chance to Snuggerud. Back on ice will be Buchnevich. A cut shot. Then big save by Lankinen. 8:20 remaining in the third period as they'll be ready to kick their puck drop. We have another one coming up. What you can see right now for Kevin Lankinen, he was really up to it. The bigger chance is that this is the big deflection, and you've really been wondering how is he able to get that advantage. Without Tachudenko, that's really going to be the hardest range when you're ever going to find out how Lankinen is going to keep making saves in this game. That's where it's going to be climbing it. Lots of time left to be played in this period. The Blues have it struck in the lead of 4-3 in the third. Myers kicking over by Oscar Sundqvist to Borowski, and Falk's shot blocked up in front. Holloway will rebound again to Falk. Falk now finds to Dvorsky. Backhanded deflection, almost tipped it in. Lankinen stops the play with under 8 minutes in the third. Wow, you just see how that made that deflection? He would almost have the same thing, and that would be up for 2 with a power play goal. Dvorsky wins the faceoff as now Buchnevich back on the outside. Time's running out. Stop made. That goes right to Myers. And the power play is over. Brock Boeser's back on ice with a full strength. What a quick reaction here. I was really been spotting this about Kevin Lankinen. You know what this is the point? This really made it a clear zone. There's no stopping that you were really going to keep on playing afterward. But this afterline, he would really have the right choice. That's where it's really going to be coming back in toward the zone. When no offense clear, that's really is a harder way to make it through. I could not believe how they were really keeping it off to a tighter spot. Whatever happens, it happens. Falk back on outside again to Buchnevich. For 2, that's another big save made by Lankinen, and Sundqvist again to Falk. Falk finding again to Buchnevich. Nowhere to find, looking for Sundqvist. Looks over to Dvorsky. Dvorsky goes off, and Ogren will have a piece of it back. Back in the Blues territory, another huge save by the goaltender as Binnington recharges to fuel it up. That's where it happens to Binnington. He's really been like shucking it up on the night. John Holloway trying to look for 3. Fires! Another blocker save by Lankinen. Just down to a final 5 minutes in the third period presented by Discover. Falk will now have the chance to Tucker. Tucker looks over to Neighbors. No offside has been given. And now back to Shen. Shen. Without the hitting on the miscues line, they're still working it off. Fowler. Malice. Doesn't get enough. And rebounded by Fowler. Fowler looks to Shen. Shen looks inbound to Fowler. Fowler. Couldn't look for the middle, and it's now Jake DeBrusk the other way. Fast and approaching to Jake DeBrusk. Back pass. Fires. Saved by Binnington. Holmander. Gets rebound by Buchnevich. Looks off to Stenberg. With the fire shot. Never saved by Lankinen on the quick cannon releasement. Holmander keeps it out, and that one goes up and out of play. 3:14 remaining in the third period as we're nearing down the end of the third for regulation. Bouchard wins the faceoff. Another big hit here for Vancouver. And that one gives that away for Parayko. Tries to look for the steal, but it's now Drew O'Connor to give it the other way. Oh, right toward the bench. That would almost be a smack out. Stenberg. Pass to Bouchard. Bouchard shot stopped by Lankinen and can't the other way to O'Connor. That one was really going to make that a huge closeout range. Keep that coming back in. They really have to look for it. Broberg right toward zone. Shoots. Stop. May. Shin shoots. Stop by Lankinen. Neighbors back. Glove save by Lankinen. Arona gets a little bit of a back on the track. And now Sasson is back to Snuggerud. Snuggerud loses it and Camp the other way. Shen. Right around the zone. Finds the Snuggerud. That pokes it out. Parayko. Out of the zone. Deep the zone. Big save by Lankinen. Final minutes in the third period, and now Camp will have his chance. On a shot, big save by Binnington. And he'll have it over, and he'll have to give that one out. Schmidt, Shen gives it out to Broberg, and now finds Snuggerud. Keep the zone, stop made again by Lankinen. Bruins ready to go on a timeout attack. And Broberg has it out. And here they go. The odd man rushes out. Goaltender to the bench. And Binnington will hold it here with only 30 seconds. It's been a big night here at St. Louis. A wonderful effort. Who had a better night? And we'll send it over to Silver Spoon.
Well, I bet that they've really been working it off well. And I've been watching it on Binnington with the big charging and a refueling save. There's no stopping to deny the effort.
He'll have it to Holloway this time. He goes over, and he scores his hat trick. That is going to do. Holloway celebrates as the Blues wins in the regulation. Well, what a big night here. As for Dylan Holloway, he is now given 3 goals. He finally had an answer. What a night. That's the biggest range, you got to give him credit. Well, the fans loved it. As for Holloway, he has 3 goals in this game. What an amazing spread onto the goal, and we love it. Having his best play in emotion is big in the night. Binnington and Holloway. What a great congratulations to the moment, and now the Blues, they finally got their win. Great job. Blues wins this game. It's a marvelous on the ending, and has now have given the Blues to have the scale to win as Binnington wins over for the Canucks. Well, that's what happens here. That's what we were going to get into. What happens with that? You enjoy your nighttime, and now you have to give a salute. Well, it's been a big night, and with that, we all rise. It's been one of the best. The Blues come back. Gotten no lead. Well, as for being along with my broadcast partner, along with Silver Spoon and the Ballpoint Pen, I'm Willie from St. Louis. You've been watching the NHL 26 on EA Sports. Thank you, and have a great night. So long, everyone. All right, Willie, thanks. Time for 3-star players of the game, and as the 3rd star, we start off with Jake DeBrusk with the goal, assist, and 4 hits. This is where it comes in with the full rush on attack, and he has that one to goal it in and in the second period. Then the 2nd-star player of the game goes to Philip Broberg with 1 goal and 1 assist. This made up a huge of a change, and it happens with the deflection to have that lead, and then this one made that one great with the tip. And your 1st-star player goes to Dylan Holloway. He gets 3 goals, and he enjoys his night with the empty net, and that really made a great deflection to have that start in the first period. You have to see it to believe it. And the final statistics, as we are spotting that one on, is 53/28. You've really been watching it off. The temporary is on the rising on the effort, with only 34/22 hits, 17/12 over 306 time on attack, and it was 91/88 passing effectiveness. 21/10 face-off wins, and no penalty kills was been given a power play goals by the 2 teams. So with that, the Blues deserve a win. Well, folks, that is going to wrap it up for tonight. I hope you all enjoyed.
And if you would like to see some other NHLs, we have the playlist for you so you can watch it anytime over and over. And plus, we have the game of the night as we are resuming to get back into the action. The Blackhawks will face against the Flyers, and then the next game we'll have is the Anaheim Ducks facing against the Kraken of Seattle. And then following along with the next game, the Hurricanes will have Mike Busey playing against the next team to face against the Utah Mammoths the other way. And then we have another big of the matchup for the Game 5. It will be the Sens facing against the Avs. That next game will be happening in Ottawa. Keep your eyes peeled on the next one. But anyway, we're wrapping it up and we're saying so long in St. Louis. This is Son of Beast, and along with me and Terry Crews, see you next time for as a while as the NHL 26 on EA Sports Style. Have a great night, everyone. So long.
If you don't, somebody will.